Talk this. It's dangerous to podcast alone.
We're here this week with two very special guests. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Milena.
And how old are you?
4.
4. How about you? What's your name?
Aurora.
And how old are you?
8.
Yeah. So we've got two very fresh and different perspectives this week on the podcast. You may remember these two, actually,
from our very
special sister episode.
Wherein all 4 of the Talk This sisters talked gaming. And here we are, like a year later, right?
Mm-hmm.
To talk gaming again.
Yeah, and we want to get your new thoughts about games. So,
okay.
What do you think of video games?
They're great. They're amazing.
They're great. They're amazing.
And awesome.
And awesome. What's your favorite video game right now, Milena?
Roblox and Little Big Planet.
Roblox
and Little Big Planet.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you like those games?
Because they're fun and you get to make a look.
You get to make a look?
Mm-hmm.
So you like dressing up your characters?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What's your Roblox character look like right now?
A cat.
A cat? Pretty cool.
Oh, goodness.
And can you explain what you do in Roblox once you've dressed up your character?
Well, it's like you have your thing that's called Avatar, and when you tap on clothing, that's what will come on.
That's how you put on your avatar. But what do you do when you're in-game?
Like, there's a circle with a circle inside of it, and then when you take the circle, then you can, like, move around.
So up you go up, left you go left, right you go right,
Mm-hmm.
down you go down.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of complicated.
Mm-hmm.
There's different ways you can move your character. So there's D-pad where...
Well, down you go backwards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also some games in Roblox, there might be some things for Robux, or you can put things on for free in one of my favorite games where there's a teddy dropped in the water and you can tap on it.
Yeah, so in Roblox, like, people in the community make, like, lots of mini games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could have, like, an arrow button to jump,
Mm-hmm.
or, like, a great person jumping, and then when you tap on it, you jump.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes a little noise. And when you walk, it makes a noise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, Aurora, I know you also play Roblox,
Mm-hmm.
but what else have you been playing lately?
Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet?
No.
Little Big Planet's a classic.
She did
Well, and I've been playing... What is it called?
Kingdom Hearts.
But yeah, Aurora's been playing Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts.
She's gonna play some more for us today.
Yes.
To
And
fail!
I'm gonna try to win, but I'm probably gonna fail.
Yes, it'll go off the edge a lot of times. It'll be so funny.
And then what have you
Well,
been
I
playing?
finished fighting that guy, so...
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's already done. So she can't fail like Emma anymore. But yeah, you and I heard the offstage prompt from Dad, have been playing Civilization.
Yeah!
Do you want to tell everybody about the country you've been building?
Well, there's Aurora City.
The capital, of
Milena
course.
Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Emma Kingdom.
Madelyn City. Poor Madelyn City. It's been having a hard time of it.
There's Sour Patch City.
Yeah, Sour Patch City's pretty new. Sushi Town, in honor of Sushi
Sibling
Go.
Center.
Sibling Center.
Sister City.
Kangaroo Cove.
Krabby Isle.
Krabby Isle, which is an island that is surrounded by crabs. And how have you been liking the game, Aurora?
It's amazing
Why do you like it?
because it's fun.
Yeah? You like giving orders and deciding what to build?
Yeah.
We want to tell you more games on the iPad.
Yeah, what are other games on the iPad that you guys like to play?
Animal Jam.
Yeah. What's Animal Jam?
So
You
you
have,
have
like,
to-
have a little animal, and some are like for sapphires. The blue like square thingies, and you can put a color on your animal.
Can you do patterns?
Yeah, you can do patterns, and you can put
Can you tell us 2 kinds of patterns?
Dots and stars and moons.
Is there hearts?
Yeah, there's hearts. And if you have a wolf, there will be a lot on you and on your tail.
Mm-hmm.
So how many animals do you have right now?
3.
What kinds of animals?
Yeah, what kinds of animals?
Bunny, wolf, and monkey.
Do you have a favorite?
Yes, wolf.
Well, I have many animals, but they're all like bunnies and wolves and
Monkeys.
Yeah, because it's hard to get sapphires in that game.
Yeah.
It's hard to save up.
It's the premium currency, right?
Yeah.
And you can get little pets, and they will follow you around, and you can take the pet off.
For instance, I have a peacock, and what do you have?
I have a honey badger. And it will follow you around. And
can you get toys for it?
Yeah, and you can get clothes for it. And you can take the animal off of you, and guess what happens?
What?
You can set him in your den.
Oh, cool.
Oh my goodness.
And you can even put him at the back of your den.
Oh my
and you
God.
can sometimes see him. And you can put him on the wall.
So, what do you guys think is the most important aspect of a game to make you like it? I know Milena likes dressing things up, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Aurora? What do you want to see when you play a game?
I want to see great design.
Great design. What do you define? What does
What
great
makes
design mean?
Well, there's detail in everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was just like a plain grass with a house, I'd expect maybe some flowers.
So you want the environments to be cool looking, yeah? You want to explore a world that's really, really detailed?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's a good criteria.
And we want to tell them one of our new pools. And we went to it.
We went to the pool?
Yeah.
Yes,
we
we
went to
did.
the pool, and it was so much fun. I was going in the water.
So, to wrap up, what do you think the future of video games looks like?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Take a guess.
I have a guess.
What's your guess, Roar?
Detailed animation.
More
Okay.
detailed animation? True. The animation these days is getting scary good. What do you think, Milena?
Yeah.
You agree?
So Madelyn can take a run, and then you guys can see me fail at Kingdom Hearts.
Right, we've got a lot to look
And
forward
see
to.
how bad I can fail at it. I'll try.
You want to try?
Yep.
Sure, we can do that.
I'll
Yay.
try to fail.
All right, so we can get to that.
But Aurora, will you take us out with a see you next time or something in your famous character voice? See if everybody can guess who Aurora is doing.
See you later.
I hope you enjoyed those special guest stars, but we'll be doing the rest of the episode on our own because we've still got some special things to talk about.
It's a very special episode here at Talk This.
Yes.
So today, instead of doing our usual 45-minute what we've been playing this week or this 2 weeks, or where I just talk about everything in way too much detail, I'm going to try to hold myself and Emma, although she was saying she has nothing to talk about, to 45 seconds-ish each, although we'll share that time. So really what I should have said was I'm going to try to hold this to a minute and a half of talking about what we've played so that it doesn't make this whole episode 3 hours long, so we can't upload any more podcasts for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Which would be bad. Okay, so starting now. Let's see. There have definitely been advantages of Champ McDude. I think we finished the Futaba thing during this 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of don't remember if that bled into last time or not. But Champ is doing well. He's back to school, which blows. Poor Champ. Let's see. Emma and I played Overcooked together.
Yes.
Pretty successfully, I thought.
It honestly feels like a game where the more people you have, the easier it gets, unless you're like really terrible at communication. But there's a couple of kitchens where it's like setting someone up at each corner would make this process super, super easy.
Yeah, I'm sure the point values for each star level go up, though.
I guess so.
But still, yeah, if you could all just like stay at each corner, that's always the hard part for me in Overcooked, is figuring out how to move when things get shut off and not burning my burgers or fish or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else we've been playing.
Well, we are, as you can see from us talking with our sisters, we're at our dad's this week. So we've been playing some All Zombies Must Die, which is a arena shooter.
Yeah, very meta.
Yes.
And the zombies have been dying, folks, that I can confirm.
They must die.
They must. Yeah, I think other than the stuff that we talked about with the girls, that probably about covers it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'm in at 28. Champion. See, this whole podcast could be like 3 times shorter if I just had a timer going all the time.
Or if you could take my subtle hints sometimes of like, okay, the highlights, Madeline, the highlights.
I just like talking about it.
Wow. Too real all of a sudden.
Okay. So we're going to skip the weather report this week because last side quest we turned into a weather podcast. Yeah. So I think we have enough weather.
We're all sick of the weather.
It's nice today.
Okay.
We've made it through the heat wave. It's finally nice again. So that's your weather report. In the traffic report, Emma, do you want to start while I check out what we've got on our blog?
Well, I think the latest playlist came out in this past 2 weeks.
It did.
So there's now a video on YouTube about choice-based mechanics, which our YouTube is Talk the Sisters, where I talk about choice-based mechanics, mostly dialogue systems, honestly, it ended up being, or like decisions. I didn't really go into morality systems because it was already getting pretty long, and I have stuff to say about morality systems. So there's that. There's also been a bunch of blogs these past 2 weeks, from Clickbait Boyfriend, Takes on Roxas, to the latest Split Screen, where we continue to be worried about the welfare of these children in My Hero Academia and Boys Over Flowers.
Mostly in Boys Over Flowers.
And there's a Games for Change retrospective, which would be a good,
that is a good
seg if I didn't miss anything.
You didn't. That is all the blog content. Sorry we've been late with the second Split Screen. We've been doing a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
Watching a lot of Brother Bear.
Yeah.
At all. So, yeah, that next Split Screen will actually be split, despite what I said in the blog, and it'll be up early next week, probably. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that brings us to our sort of, I guess, penultimate segment, but like our other big segment of this side quest, which is the Games for Change Festival 2018.
Yeah, the 15th anniversary of the Games for Change Festival.
And we were really, really excited to get to go. I've never been to a gaming festival or conference of any kind. Mm-hmm. I think you went to the Serious Games one, right?
No, Mom did.
I assumed that you went with Mom.
No, I was working. I was working at the game camp.
Right. Yes. Wow, I haven't read this blog yet, and it's super rude.
Anyway, we wanted to go because it was in New York, and if you've been with us it's in New York, and if you've been with us since the beginning, you know that we're interested in Games for Change. We used to post Games for Change on Mondays on our blog, on our Facebook. Sorry. So yeah, but you know.
Do you have any overall impressions or big takeaways?
I think that there's a lot of potential in games for health and games for education, and games for very specific goals. I'm still, even after hearing from people who made games like this, I'm still kind of skeptical about games for empathy. Like, I think that if they catch on, they can be good for, like, raising awareness, but then where does that awareness go, right?
Yeah, it seems to me that maybe it would, like, these games for empathy almost feel like they should be in a different category. Unless they're specifically, like, on the VR day, the one with, like, Journey of a Thousand Cuts, where you are, like, portraying a black man going about his day and being stopped by police and all that stuff. Like, that seems, like, plausibly, like, yeah, like, that's a game for change. Mostly because, of course, VR isn't at the point yet where it could be, like, I don't want to say a real game, because of course it's a real game, but a game in the classical conception of what people believe a game is, right? Like, it's not gonna be a commercial game.
Sure.
I mean, I'm like backing myself into a corner here. I just need to say it's like you can't be running around like punching people, you know?
Okay. I don't actually know if it's commercially available. I don't know if any of those games are commercially available.
Me either. I imagine some of them are. We don't have a VR set, so...
I know all the ones from not VR are commercially available. But yeah, I don't know the awards nominees, I mean. But I don't know about the VR ones. Because yeah, we don't own a VR headset. I could never, ever afford a Vive or an Oculus, and...
Nor would you particularly
or even
enjoy
really,
it.
do I really want to spend the PSVR money? Well, that's way cheaper. It's still a little expensive. Still about the same price as another PS4.
And aren't you really paying the price of, like, your nausea?
True. Yes. My VR experience with, I think it was the
Last City of Myrrh.
Vive on the Lost City of Myrrh. They are having some trouble with the location software. I go into this a little bit on the blog, but that basically means that they can't find you in the 3D virtual space, which mostly means that your vision is getting all jerked around and swirling and sometimes just cutting out entirely. Yeah, and it's not great for nausea.
It was a cool game, though. I feel like I don't want them to feel like we're bashing them.
I'm not. I think it's important to note the technical glitches, especially since it was their world premiere there. So if they really want to do things with it, they have to figure those out. But yeah, it just like it was hard to think about the message when I was thinking about not vomiting all over their equipment. But from what I saw, it seemed like it could be effective. It was really pretty.
There's your VR developer lesson number 1 from the Talk This podcast. Work on that nausea thing.
Yeah.
And that's what they were really trying to do, was simulate, like, the bends.
I think they said that the hand parts were running out of battery, the hand remotes.
Oh, and so that's why you had to swim so hard, maybe.
Oh, I don't think that was it. It's just that is tied to the locating, I think.
It's like, psych, it's a fitness game.
That was the other thing. I mean, I was not wearing appropriate clothing, really, for VR, because I had, like, a jacket on.
What's more appropriate than a Talk This Podcast t-shirt?
But I had a jacket on over my very appropriate Talk This Podcast t-shirt. So, the swimming was a little hard. Especially since I had, like, this heavy backpack on. And the remotes were not, not weighty.
What Emma's saying is she needs to go to the gym.
No, I don't.
This is a blast from the past. The Wellness Center.
True, I need to go to the Wellness Center.
For new listeners, that's my my video game gym, my video game inspired gym.
You can add Lost City of Mare to it.
Yeah, where you swim very slowly through pudding and sort of feel nauseous. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful pudding.
Uh-huh.
I thought the gaming addiction panel was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And looked at it in ways that I hadn't thought of, that kind of quote unquote controversy being addressed before.
Yeah.
That, it all basically comes down to research money.
Sure. I mean, I thought the stuff about the Chinese and Korean researchers wanting it diagnosed so that they can have, like, official, not inhumane, stop the gaming camps,
Yeah. It kind of like changed my mind almost on the whole issue. Because, like, I think you and I agree that probably gaming addiction, while a sort of a symptom that people certainly do suffer from. Like, I don't want to say that people that, like, find themselves playing World of Warcraft or whatever for 16 hours a day shouldn't seek some kind of psychiatric help. or anything. I feel like World of Warcraft probably takes a lot of crap for this. But if you can get addicted to any game. She says, not thinking about how much time she spent playing Civilization this week. But I think that we agree that it's probably just symptomatic of like you have some kind of depression issue or anxiety or ADHD or OCD or something.
Yeah.
That if you treat that would help you to not be so dependent on video games. I mean, neither of us are doctors, so this is just like a stupid opinion, basically. But hearing from, it's like a way to get people research money so they can actually look into what's going on here, or it's a way to have it not literally beaten out of these, like, not high-achieving children.
Yeah.
Right? Seems kind of silly to be like, oh, don't classify it because I don't think it's real.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's easy to get stuck in the insular, like, oh, well, here in the US, like, if it got classified as a disorder, like, how much more time would we spend after every national tragedy talking about how it's all violent video games' fault,
If you're addicted to violent video, like, that's so different, though. If you're addicted to video games, you can't go out and do anything bad because you're stuck inside all day playing video games.
Yeah, but people who don't understand what gaming disorder means would be able to interpret it that way. You always get sick of that, but in the end, that's it's not a minor issue, but...
And that was something that was refreshing, but also made me kind of think a lot at Games for Change. Like, it was refreshing to be in a room with people that were, like, genuinely positive about video games. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that, everybody plays games, right? They've talked about that in several of the panels, that, I mean, almost everybody plays video games, but everybody plays some kind of game of some kind.
Yes.
So really people aren't as, down on video games maybe as they think they are, if they think they are. Mm-hmm. And it's just something that we feel because gaming is like, it's so mainstream now, but we feel like it's not, or whatever. Yeah. And probably the issue is just like, talk about it more to people, and you'll find that they play games too. Yeah. But it also made me think a lot, so it's like, so with all these games that like we're supposed to believe that can cause good things, right? But at the same time, if you believe that, I really feel like you also have to believe that games can influence people's behavior negatively.
Sure. Studies aren't, like, super conclusive right now, but all that's ever been shown in terms of violent games, or competitive games, more specifically, is that there's a short-term rise in aggression after playing them. No long-term effects have ever been found between playing competitive video games and being more aggressive. But that's partially the reason why I'm skeptical of empathy games. Like, educational games and health games, like, those are so specific and are being designed specifically to give you something, right? I don't think anyone has ever, well, that's not entirely true, but I don't think most mainstream violent games have ever thought, I'm designing this game specifically because I want people to shoot other people.
Well, like, what if I don't want to go that, but, like, what if I did try to design a game and I was like, this game, I'm going to design it to increase depression or increase anxiety in my player. I mean, that would be a really dumb game. You know what? It would go viral and people would buy it. So maybe it wouldn't be a dumb game.
Well, increase anxiety. Isn't that just all horror games, in my experience?
But, like backed by science, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think playing one game can... Okay, here's what I think. I don't think playing one game can change you at a psychological level. I think maybe playing 100 games that all say, for example, the same thing about women can shape what you actually think and feel about women. But that takes 100 games with no other input, So that's why, like, people have problems with, like, the trends in games, like the sort of insidious things that they say, whether or not they mean to. But, like, for violence, like, and it's not just games, right? You get that from movies and on all entertainment. And maybe, I think that maybe so much violence maybe desensitizes us to violence a bit, but I don't think it makes us violent. Like, that's a different issue.
And for more on this, read my paper on myth-making in modern culture. Just kidding. Don't. I mean, you could probably find it if you wanted to, but anyway.
Speaking of violence.
Well, I just want to say first,
peaceful areas.
That's true. That's a good saying. But I first want to say, we really did have a really good time at the festival.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. We recommend it.
Yes.
If you're more casually into this, maybe just get a 1-day pass to start. Because, man, a 3-day conference is tiring.
Yeah. We couldn't make it to any of the morning keynotes because we're young.
Every time, like, whenever my boyfriend goes to a conference and he's like, I'm tired, like, I'm gonna skip, like, text me, like, I'm tired, I'm gonna skip something, I always think, like, what a wimp. But I did not understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a great time. There was a lot of really entertaining stuff. I think all of their videos are up now. So, certainly their live stream, but I think they were going to do it in, like, individual videos also. So if you're curious about any of it, check it out. And definitely check out our blog for other thoughts on other sessions that we went to, because there was a lot of really cool stuff.
There really was, yeah.
That seems like it could be really effective and exciting. But yeah, back to Emma's SIG of violent things in peaceful segments. We'll wrap up this week with our question of the fortnight. Literally question of the fortnight. Not like, for most people, literally would mean like the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And for us, literally means the insanely popular
Battle Royale game.
So here's our question of the fortnight. Is it okay to, like, I don't even know how to phrase this question.
Yeah, Fortnite is a very weird game experience, right? So we'll context the question a little bit in case people don't know.
Before the question even is asked.
So Fortnite is generally like a player versus player, 100, and you try to be the last one standing, right? And you can have teams also. But they also, I don't know if this was their first one or if they had done other ones, but they have like live events. Like, so a rocket turned up on the map all of a sudden, and they were counting down to some special event, which people assumed was the rocket launching, which it was. Like, people got in, and there was sort of an unspoken agreement of peace during that round, even though technically, you know, the round was still going on. So the same 100 people against each other was in effect. People watching the rocket launch were all up on this, like, sort of precarious structure. And some opportunistic player, decided to destroy, like, one of the supports that held up this platform, because part of Fortnite is you can build things and destroy things. And the 48 people on there all fell to the ground and died, and so did the player, but not before getting the solo kill record in all of Fortnite for 48 kills.
I think that was the true purpose of the event. I know. So our question is that okay?
Yeah.
Like, would you do that if given the opportunity?
I don't think I would do that. I mean, it's at a certain point, it's like, if this was like their first one, sure, maybe they're naive about it, but even if you're trying to watch a live event, even if there's an unspoken agreement of peace, like, set yourself up better. Don't put yourself on a very precarious ramp where anyone can get to you, and watch your back a little better. But yeah, like, I wouldn't do it, but I respect his choice to do it. I just hope that, like, it doesn't devolve all live events into just people running around trying to get the solo kill record, because I think that's a very unique part of Fortnite that's interesting, and seeing that community form around the rocket launch, you know?
And now everyone's sad that the burger is gone.
The burger?
Like, it cracked the sky and things are getting, like, sucked up.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, which they think it has to do with, like, the next season of Fortnite. They have, like, seasons, I guess. So, yeah, the rocket cracked the sky and is growing. And now there's, like, cracks all over the map, which is also super interesting. Like, this weird Battle Royale game that also has a sort of narrative.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll talk about it more at some point on the podcast.
Yeah.
I would do it.
You would do it?
I don't think that's surprising.
Madelyn loves to win at the expense of all of her loved ones.
I'm sorry, it's a killing game. That's what it is. And like you said, like, you come back to Ghost, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you don't get to see the event.
Yeah.
You just died.
Yeah.
And if all you were in it for... Are there rankings in Fortnite? I mean, there have to be.
I don't know.
But whatever. So you died one time. You know, like, if you're only really there to watch the event, why do you care? I mean, it's your fault. I mean, like, frankly, you should have been savvier. You should have known you're, like, on an internet game.
Sure. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, it's a lot of young kids even that play Fortnite. So you can't, I mean, you know.
No, I think it's fair game. I mean, he died too. Like, since this player died too, I feel a little better about it.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, it was like too golden. You know, it's like when you're playing Worms Armageddon, which is a reference that no one who plays Fortnite will understand. And you're just in a pit with a bunch of other worms, and you pop your worm. Blow your worm up.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's worth it. It's worth every single glorious second, even if it's your last worm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just fine. It's the purpose of the game, and if that has to include now finding a sneaky hiding spot to watch the event, so much the better. It's more gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's not Club Penguin. Sorry, kids. If you wanted a game where you just have to watch things happen and chat, it's, well, or I guess today, it's now Roblox.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I still think that's a cool aspect, even if it's mostly a killing game, as Madelyn puts it.
It is cool. I'm just saying, if you're a player and you want to watch that happening, you have to find a more creative way to do it.
Sure.
Than, like, you're at war. You can't just, like, chill out with 40 of your closest friends on a rickety, like, log.
I also thought it was funny, the Kotaku has been doing a bunch of, like, differently opinion write-ups about this, and somebody was like, it's fine, was saying that they were there and they died by accidentally backing off the ramp they were on and falling to their death. So, you know, that could have been you. At least you get to be part of, like, a historic moment,
Seriously.
I guess, in Fortnite history.
Has anyone interviewed this player? That's the content I want. If you're listening and you're the Fortnite player with the highest solo kill record, I know that probably Kotaku and Polygon and all those folks have reached out to you, but we would love to be your first interview.
Please send us a message.
On Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Talk This Podcast, where you can follow us for memes and stuff.
Yep.
Also articles, also our updates on the website, www.talkthispodcast.com.
Leave us a review on any one of our many places you can listen to the podcast, but particularly iTunes would be nice.
Apple Podcasts
would be nice. So we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
/ Google Play.
Yes. Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, and really any podcast directory you could find.
So you have no excuse not to listen in.
Yes.
We're also on YouTube at Talk This Sisters. On there, you can see the Play This series. Catch up if you haven't. They're amazing. The Flashback Friday series, which has been on a hiatus as I've been, like, particularly busy on Fridays, traveling and stuff. But we'll hopefully be back next week, although I start a new job, so we'll see. It should be back next week. Also, Clickbait Boyfriend mini vlogs. There's a bunch that went up about the Roxas battle that I think are just the funniest things I've ever filmed. So definitely take a look at those. And I think that's all of our social media. Next week on the podcast, we're talking about, I don't quit a podcast. Is it Portal or is it Portal 2?
It's Portal, but we can talk about Portal 2.
Okay, well, we're talking about Portal. Oh.
And we'll lose so many listeners because of Madelyn's irrational hatred for popular
It's just
things.
going to be me, like, saying, I hate Portal over and over for the 22 minutes.
Madelyn hates that Portal is smarter than her.
I'm bad at it. No, you know what? I might just... Can you get it on PS3?
I'm sure you can. Maybe.
Maybe I'll buy it.
Actually, it might not be on PS3.
No, we played it on Xbox 360.
Yeah, but it might not be on PS3.
Can I get it on my Mac?
I don't know. You can look into that.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to get it and see if I still hate it. Because I may have hated it because I was playing it on an Xbox, and who the heck knows how to use an Xbox controller? Not
Seriously.
me. So anyway, we're talking about Portal. Oh, I'm just going to keep doing. Every time I talk about it, it's going to be Portal. And
Abzu.
I just think it's funny because it's like abs.
Okay.
An abzu.
Yes.
So clearly I haven't done my research for that one yet, but tune in. It's going to be one for the books. Will I torpedo this podcast and bring me and all my listeners down with it?
Yes.
Apparently that's a yes. And is it okay if I do so? So I guess that's it for this week's episode.
Heck yeah.
You a sign off? You want me to sign off?
I hope this week changes you for the better.